Number one, they treat you like an emotional punching bag. Being in a dysfunctional environment can take a toll on your physical and mental health. If you find that you're currently stuck in this situation, don't hesitate to seek help. Keep in touch with supportive friends or distant relatives and let them know how you are doing. It's not good to keep everything inside or harbor grudges. 5 signs your family has used you as a scapegoat. Number 2, they badmouth you to other people. You want to kill the morale of a kid, or you want a kid to feel betrayed by their parent, walk in and overhear them talking about something that's personal to you. This situation usually happens when you're raised by narcissistic parents because they want you to appear perfect to the other people and have no problem distancing themselves from you when you misstep. Think of it this way. It's a way of them saying, well, I don't know why they act that way. Or they might, or it's a way of them saying, they didn't get it from me. Or they picked it up from some kid in the street. They may bring you down just to lift themselves up. Remember to talk about your feelings to those who really care about you and try to engage in activities that make you feel good about yourself. Most of the time, their own actions are a reflection of their own internal battles and rarely have anything to do with you. When you have family members who can't stop talking about your business or your missteps, it really don't have anything to do with you. 5 signs your family is using you as a scapegoat. Number 3, they project their mistakes onto you. Have you ever had a family member yell at you for a mistake they made? A lot of times they won't even come back and say, I'm sorry, when they find out it wasn't you either. Because they feel like, it ain't my fault, you shouldn't be stealing anyway. It ain't my fault I thought you stole something. If you wasn't always stealing, we wouldn't be blaming you. Most of the time, these things happen because they're angry or irritated and you're within firing range of their emotions. They say that we mistreat the people closest to us. Yep. We hurt the people in our community. Most of the time when people get murdered, they're murdered by somebody who knew them. They don't know how to cope with the sudden burst of anger, so they let it out using toxic methods. Keep in mind that whenever this happens, it's best to let the person cool off. Put some distance between you and them and be careful not to engage with them in this while they're in this state, because fighting won't solve the problem, only make it worse. If a person is in that mood and they projecting their stuff on you, this is not an opportunity to debate and argue, because you're not going to win that. Just accept that what they're saying about you out of anger is not true, and understand that every person faces battles of their own. After you learn to accept yourself and your flaws, accept that your family members are flawed people as well. So this is not a presentation to say, you know what, let's hate our families. This is one to help understand ourselves and to understand our families. Because you don't know what you don't know. And you don't know what story your mom might have, or your grandmother might have, or your dad might have, or your uncle. They got stories too that led up to why they're the way they are. And a lot of times we have no idea what they went through. I ain't trying to excuse away bad behavior either. I'm just trying to create an understanding. 5 signs your family is using you as a scapegoat. Number 4, they ignore you. Do you ever notice your family members going out of their way to pretend you don't exist? Perhaps they don't invite you to dinners or seek your opinion on family matters. Auntie passed away and you didn't even know about it. You're the last person to know. You're the last person to be contacted. Whatever it is, they're outright blocking you out. Family members do this for a number of reasons. One is that they know they've done something wrong to you and want to avoid a possible confrontation. Sometimes you don't get invited because they done mistreated you. And they might be afraid you know. Or they think a confrontation is coming and they're trying to avoid the confrontation. They invite everybody but you. Another is that they're afraid you'll bring up their past abusive behavior to people outside of the household. So you might be a live wire or a loose wire, and they don't want to invite you because they're going to have people from the job there. They're going to have people outside of the family there, and they don't want you standing up making no announcement, grabbing your glass like, my uncle sitting right there molested me when I was 12. Who's going to speak up and speak out? They might see something in you that they don't like to look at. The reason they don't invite you, because they might see something in you that they don't want to look at. Basically, anything that triggers their own insecurity. Sometimes it's good to reach out to an external external support system and let yourself enjoy life with people who love you and make you feel seen, because you know what? You can create your own family. Start off with one good friend. Because you can meet a person, man, and they do more for you, encourage you more in 6 months than your family has encouraged you all your life. And make sure that they solid. And if they not solid, cut them. Create your own circle. 5 signs your family is using you as the scapegoat. Number 5, they treat you differently from others. These are family members. You can't get nothing from them without having to jump through some hoops and do some backflips, but they'll do anything for a stranger.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Are you always being compared to a sibling or a cousin? Forcing ranks or hierarchy systems on family members is toxic for everyone involved. Being continuously subjected to that sort of environment can hurt you, destroy your self-esteem, and at the same time cause unnecessary pressure for the other family member too. Because if you're the golden child and they always bragging about you, they messing your head up too. Because you don't want to make a mistake. You got to always be perfect because they always using you as an example. That's not fair. And then the other person who's always being the scapegoat feel as though either I always got to try to be perfect, or it ain't even worth trying to be perfect because I ain't never going to succeed at it anyway. And either way of thinking is toxic for the person. All it breeds is unhealthy competition, contempt, and toxic perfectionism. Most of the time, these situations stem from narcissistic parenthood. Because of their need to seem perfect and have the perfect family, they push their children to be more without noticing when they've reached their breaking point. Have you ever noticed that you are too competitive, or perhaps you don't even bother to compete at all? Your current behavior is usually heavily influenced by how you were treated as a child, but the important thing is that you are here now. Whatever's been learned can be unlearned. You can make a decision today. I'm going to be the type of person I want to be. Regardless, it's called independent will. You start looking silly, you get like 20 years old, 25 years old, you still talking about your mama. 30 years old, 35 years old, you still talking about your daddy, your grandfather, your grandmama, and why you can't be successful. No. Now you're using them as a scapegoat. Not do better.